Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see today, I have someone different. From the previous episodes, you've seen me probably advertising Diaspora Meds. And today I decided to talk to the founder, the CEO of the company. And he's going to share with us the importance of getting insurance, be it medical, be it repatriation services, everything, every other question that you've been asking me, I have him to answer. So welcome to the channel, sir.
Thank you so much, Tafadzwa, and thank you so much to our audience, and welcome to the channel. Like you've always been here, I'm delighted to be here, Tafadzwa, and to share insights around insurance from a medical point of view, from a repatriation point of view, and from a funeral point of view. And I hope that our discussion is going to be able to help someone to be able to get onto the track in terms of what they need to do to help themselves and their loved ones back home.
So before we actually get into the questions, I think I would love if you maybe introduce yourself and give a brief background of what Diaspora Meds is so that people get an understanding of what we're talking about and they know the company.
Great. Thank you so much for the opportunity to introduce the company, Tafadzwa. Despromed is an Afro-global insure fintech that allows African immigrants across the world to be able to cater for the healthcare needs of their loved ones back home. But also at the same time, it allows them to repatriate themselves back home in the instance of any damage occurring wherever they are in the world, and also cover for funeral solutions for their loved ones and themselves. We're basically a one-stop insurance solution that covers medical, life, repatriation, and funeral solutions for Africans living across the globe. But for the purpose of this discussion, I'm sure that we're talking to a lot of Zimbabweans, and I want to focus on the Zimbabwean core and how we can be able to offer medical insurance solutions as well as funeral repatriation as well as life cover for Zimbabweans across the world.
Yeah, you said quite a lot. And from what you were saying, I think for someone who may be wondering, because I don't really think people have enough information when it comes to insurances. They just think maybe if I just get an insurance, it covers everything, medical, repatriation, every other service. Are the insurances the same or they are like different categories of insurances?
Okay, that's a profound question, Tafadzwa. So I'm really going to break it down since you've given me the opportunity to. So firstly, let me talk about medical insurance. Medical insurance, let me talk about outbound medical insurance, which is out of country. Basically, everyone somewhere, somehow, living across the world is paying for medical bills for their loved ones back home. Your loved one back home may be having BP, diabetes, HIV, cancer, a whole lot of other plethora of conditions that are mixed across in terms of what they have. The cost of that, if you are attended to without insurance or without medical aid, is very high. On an average basis, you're paying $200 for diabetics medication,
Yeah.
$80 maybe for BP medication, $40 to $30 for your HIV medication. Cancer could go even up to 30,000 rand, which is about close to 1,500 rand, $1,500. Sorry about that. So, and seeing the doctor, seeing the specialist, seeing the GP, etc., expands off and above that. And unfortunately, whether you came to Poland, Germany, Czech Republic as a student, at some point you have to cater for the healthcare needs of your loved ones back home, because the dependency then comes back to you. And you can circumvent the cost, this rising cost, by actually putting your loved ones on medical aid. We've got varying costs as from $5 up to $200 a month. That covers you up to even 232,000 US dollars a year in medical care. Let's talk about repatriation. Living in a foreign country puts you at a risk that in the incident that anything happens to you, you need to go back home and be buried back home.
Yeah.
So what then happens to you if you are living abroad in terms of being taken back home? So instead of you going back to GoFundMe for your dignity being unprotected, we then put in an instance where you are able to protect your dignity from a repatriation point of view, and to give yourself a dignified funeral send-off. Life insurance, what we're basically saying is we're saying that you can be able to cater for your loved ones and yourself in the instance that anything happens to you. Continuity of dignity and continuity of lifestyle is assured. So we're basically a one-stop shop that allows you to cater for the continuity of life from a medical point of view. In the instance that damage occurs, we're able to send you back home. But also, even after sending you back home, your life should continue thereafter.
Oh, okay. Okay. So are there any maybe like packages where someone can choose? Let's say maybe they want medical insurance and life insurance, or maybe they want life insurance and repatriation without another type. Is it something that if I'm registered to Diaspora Meds Insurance, is it like an insurance that covers everything, or I can select what I want in the package?
So it's really a cocktail of factors. You are able to join in terms of medical alone,
Okay.
to cover for your loved ones.
Okay.
Just recently, we've also introduced and are introducing medical insurance for people in Poland.
Okay.
That you can be able to have medical aid for yourself in Poland. And that's something that people should be able to sign up onto as well.
Yeah.
And we'll be taking that into different countries. You can be able to register for medical aid whilst you're in Germany, and the same medical aid will cover you once you're back in Zim. But our policy is not strict that once you join, you have to take everything up. If you want medical aid, that's independent. If you want repatriation, that's independent. If you want funeral cover, that's independent. If you want life cover, that's independent. So you can basically choose what you want across the spectrum.
So there's also a possibility whereby I can start with everything, and then maybe after a few months I can say, okay, now at least I no longer want this, but I want to remain with this. There's a possibility of that change.
100%. The autonomy is on the client in terms of choosing what exactly suits their needs. Because remember, at the end of the day, insurance is about the client.
Yeah.
So what they need is what we provide. And the autonomy in terms of exit and entry for the client is up to them. As and when they want a policy, they want to cancel it, they want to rejoin,
Yeah.
that autonomy remains on the client.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you spoke about Diaspora Meds recently signing school students here in Poland, right? So one question that some might have is that if I am in Poland and I'm under Diaspora Meds insurance, right? Can I use that insurance cover in local Polish hospitals?
Yes, so we haven't implemented that to the full and to the core, but however, that is at an advanced stage of implementation. So you'll be able to use your Diaspora Meds medical aid cover in Poland and in Zimbabwe and in international countries as well. So there'll be no limitations in terms of where you can use it. But yes, you will be able to use it in Poland in terms of private hospitals as well as government hospitals. And I think that should be in place in the next 4 weeks.
Okay, okay.
But I would still encourage people to start to enroll onto it, so that by the time that it comes, you are also, conjugant to the fact that you can be able to use it at the time. Yeah.
Okay, so taking you back to repatriation, I heard you talk about repatriation. What really happens? Let's say, for example, I have this repatriation cover, right? And then I pass away. I am in Poland right now. What really happens? How do you then get into play? And do you have any legal documents that you process for the client, or they do it on their own, and then the only thing you do is to finance like the repatriation of?
So that's a good question. So with respect to the repatriation, that's a long process. What then happens is that we assist the client from the point that we actually identify that the client has passed on.
Okay.
So there's international relations that are, I don't know whether to call it bilateral or unilateral, that happen between countries to identify the death of a client and the repatriation of a client.
Okay.
And we're underwritten by one of the biggest underwriters in the world, which is Old Mutual, which is 120 years old now. What they then permit is that they then do the documentation for the client, regardless of the fact that the cash is paid by us.
Oh, okay.
We then assist with the documentation because it's quite a long process from ministry to ministry. And then also there's the undertakers that need to communicate with the mortuary in Zimbabwe, etc., to enable that the client is repatriated. So the process is quite long.
Okay.
And also costly and cumbersome. So our underwriters undertake the whole process on behalf of the client, because the process is not as simple as it looks. There's undertaker to mortuary communication, and also home affairs to home affairs communication that happens. So it's quite a long process, but our underwriters have got the competence. Case in point, we've reported some clients that have passed on here from Poland. May her soul rest in peace, Vanessa. We undertook the entire process in terms of what had to be done from the inception of the client being taken from Poland into Zimbabwe.
So this really sounds like a very complicated process. So roughly, for example, how much would it cost to repatriate a body from Europe or from the Middle East or from Australia back to Africa?
You'll be looking at about $6,500 at the bare minimum, depending on the process that are required. But at the maximum, it will cost you about $11,000. But I'm saying, depending on what's in place, what's not in place, at the bare minimum, you're looking at $6,500, which if you are going to be paying $10 to $20, that will take you about 30 years to save that amount of money. And over and above that, also, with respect to, it can get to $13,000, between $11,000 to $13,000, just to repatriate a body. We've had instances where a lot of clients have been stuck in the UK, in Poland for 2 months, etc. I've just been informed now on my visit to Poland that a student passed on, I think, last week. And obviously they're stuck here and solutions are being found because no one ever thinks that a student will pass on. So there's a whole lot of situations around that.
Oh, okay. So let's say if I sign up today, or if someone who's watching right now, if they sign up today, does the cover start immediately, or there's another process that needs to be completed before they can be fully covered?
So the cover does start immediately, but unfortunately for payout, there's a 3 months waiting period to avoid what is called moral hazard. Our cash payout goes up to $25,000.
Okay.
So in that instance, there's what is called moral hazard, in an instance where upon a client can be able to commit suicide, or someone can be able to kill someone because they're insuring them.
Oh, okay.
So all those checks and balances have to be put in place. What that does is that it allows us to be able to protect the fund on behalf of all clients globally. Because if a client starts today and they can benefit tomorrow, they can commit suicide because they're in debt of $25,000, and we should then eradicate the debt on their behalf. So there's a 3 months waiting period when it comes to cash cover and service charges for clients. So whatever the case, if you start the joint date, but our cover doesn't cover suicide and self-death, accidents that are covered, chronic or deaths are covered, etc. But we do put the 3 months waiting period for just to cover for moral hazard related to clients that actually want to commit suicide, etc.
So if I'm to commit suicide after 5 months, then automatically I won't be covered.
Suicide is not covered.
Oh, it's
by insurance. In any insurance across the world, suicide is not covered.
Okay, so is it only suicide, or there are other things that, like,
accidents are covered? Everything else is covered. It's only suicide that's not covered.
It's only suicide.
Yes.
Okay.
And foul play by relatives. I'm not talking about witchcraft. I'm just saying foul play as in that constitutes suicide as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but suicide is not covered. Because the self intends to benefit from insurance.
Okay.
Because you know that you've got money behind the scenes that is going to help you.
That is going to that is very true.
Yeah.
And just to make sure every section is covered on that, for students, is it really something that is really affordable for students? Of course, I heard you talk about like the price range, but let's say I'm just a student here in Europe, maybe I'm not employed, I have like a part-time job. Is it something that, because I know for a lot of students it's something that they consider, but then they don't really put that much importance on things like insurance. So is it really affordable for a student that it can be attractive for them?
I would say it's very affordable. And the policies are not strictly $25 per month. You can literally pay anything from $3 to $5 a month, right? But also remember that it is very dependent also on how much payout you have.
Okay.
but you also are free to upgrade as and when affordability
Oh,
increases.
okay. Yeah.
So for example, if you're paying maybe $5-7 a month, $8 a month, $10 a month, you could be getting cover that's maybe up to $7,000-8,000. But I think at the top of my head, it's something that can be able to circumvent the cost of what you could actually pay out in the instance of damage around that. But more interest on that, Tafi, I would also just want to state aspects around also covering your loved ones back home. Because I know that when uh, every student is an aging population in terms of their parents, it's so important to cover those parents because
Yeah.
the moment that your parents get you out of university after 3 years, they're looking to you
Exactly.
to cover the funeral element. But also your parents are still aging.
Yeah.
It's important to also look at how you cover them medically because a day of reckoning is arriving whereupon you have to cover your parents for medical bills in terms of that, and when your parents need the medical bills, the onus is on you because they've sold cows, they've sold houses to bring you to Poland and to bring you to the Schengen region. So it's also important to actually look at how you can actually care up for them, not just from a funeral point of view. I just want to talk about repatriation, demise, and anything that happens. It's a whole lot of aspect to do with how do you cater for your family back home as well.
So just on that, let's say my parents are really, really aging, or maybe they are 75 years old, 80 years old. Is there a maximum limit where diaspora meds doesn't cover?
We've got a solution for everyone.
Okay.
We're very solution based. And I think we don't have age restrictions with respect to cover. So it would be best to look at the solutions that we have with respect to how we cover people around the age band. So we do have solutions and everything for everyone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And from the beginning, I heard you talk about Zimbabweans, right? As like the core people. But do you only cover Zimbabweans only? Like in the African space, do you only cover Zimbabwe or there are other nations there?
Absolutely not. We are not xenophobic in nature. So
Okay.
by the strictest terms, we are an Afro-Global
Okay.
insurance solution for diasporans. We cover every African that has left home.
Okay.
Our brand promise is to provide care beyond borders. And after we provide care beyond borders, we provide care beyond care. And our care beyond borders means that the moment you leave your border, you are in a space where we are covering your care back home. So if you're Nigerian, if you're Kenyan, Cameroonian, Ethiopian, whatever African origin you are,
Yeah.
if you've left your place of origin, and I think now that you've given me the platform, I'll be able to define what diaspora means.
Yeah.
Diaspora means displaced from your place of origin
Okay.
and your place of care
Okay.
and your place of love. But you want to send back love
Yeah.
to it. But love is dignity provided in different ways. Medical care is love provided in a different form of care. Repatriation is love provided in a different form of care.
Yeah.
And so is life insurance. So anywhere where an African sets their foot out of, we will provide care.
Okay.
So it's not limited to Zimbabweans. Unfortunately, for the purpose of your interview, your largest audience is Zimbabweans.
Yeah, that's true.
So we provide care beyond care for Zimbabweans. But if they have Ghanaian friends, Nigerian friends, we provide care beyond borders, whereupon their footsteps stepped out of their place of care and comfortability. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm in the diaspora right now, and I want to cover, let's say, my parents and my friends back home. Can I put them under my own like insurance cover, or will we have to create for them? I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
So you can create a platform for them.
Okay.
And you can create solutions for them.
Okay.
Your care is essentially your repatriation. That's what you care most about, but also your medical insurance, yeah. But your primary care is how they are going to get care
Exactly.
in Zimbabwe and will
Yeah.
provide independent care on the basis of your payment that you then create in the
Okay.
foreign country.
So do you have like medical aid cards?
Yes, just not medical aid cards, biometric solutions.
Okay.
We are so advanced to the extent that we actually use fingerprints.
Oh, wow.
So you don't need a medical aid card to access medical care. We are the most advanced medical aid solution in the
Okay.
continent
Yeah.
that allows you to be able to utilize fingerprints to access medical care across the world.
So if someone that if I'm covering for someone who's back home, right? And I create their account and I do the payments for them, like let's say my parents, and they want to use this fingerprint, like, or how do they really actually do it?
So the fingerprints is used through a platform called 263.
263.
But over and above the 263, we have an application.
Okay.
If you go onto your Google Play, it's called App Store.
Yeah, App Store as well.
The one for Samsung?
No, Google Play is for Samsung and Apple Store for
Okay, sorry, I'm a little
iOS,
bit behind.
yeah.
So Google Play, like me, like Samsung, love all the Samsung users.
Okay.
The Google Play, the Diaspora Meds app is available. You don't even have to do anything with respect to booking. You
okay.
book via the application.
Via the application.
And your loved ones can be able to access healthcare
Okay.
in Zimbabwe or
Okay.
second opinion across the world. They can even be able to see doctors in the UK, in America, Dubai, Turkey, India, etc.
Okay.
But also, if you want to access healthcare in Zimbabwe, you can be able to utilize our card and our biometric solution, which is your fingerprint. Yeah.
Okay. So why is like destinations like Poland, Australia, Dubai, why are they very important markets for you as Diaspora Meds?
Maybe let me start with Poland since I'm in Poland.
Yeah.
Maybe I can impress the people in Poland, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So since I'm in Poland, hi Polish people, but as Zimbabwean, this destination is important for us because it speaks to a lot of migration
Okay.
that is happening.
Yeah.
To the best of my knowledge, the number of students and working population in Poland outnumbers 10,000 plus
That's correct.
people. Through our research, what this represents is also the fact that the people in Poland are people that have been sent by families, and they represent destiny in terms of where families are going from a posterity point of view. And what then that does is that they're the people that have been entrusted to take care of the next generation of families. And they're holding destiny in terms of where families are going and what can actually happen in the near future.
Okay.
And that should also apply to Germany, to Australia, to America, and the UK. UK represents an easier population with respect to what has happened because there's so much historic elements.
Yeah.
People started going into the UK in the 90s. Poland is a very new destination at the present moment. But Poland in the next 5 to 7 years is going to represent what the UK is representing now.
That's true. That's true.
And they're holding the destiny of the country and the families that they need to take care of. And we need to protect the integrity and the posterity of the families that are in Poland. And that is why we are so invested in coming into Poland, because we are futuristic about what is going to happen.
Yeah.
What's happening in the UK now will be happening in Poland in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So before we conclude, what is like that one question that you wish I should have asked you that you think probably I didn't ask?
It's what does care beyond care mean?
Okay.
What does care beyond borders mean?
So what does care beyond care mean?
You can ask again.
So what does care beyond borders mean?
Thank you. Care beyond borders means that I want to take you through a journey of what it means to leave your place of comfort and your place of of being in life. Being an African, and I envisage your home cooked chicken being cooked for you the last night
Yeah.
before you leave for the airport. And before you're being driven from Zimba to, are you from Zimba?
No.
Okay. Rusape maybe. Before you are driven from that place to Harare International Airport, and your family is looking to you, it's destiny that they're looking at.
Yeah.
You've dreams and aspirations that encapsulate your thoughts and the promises that you make for what you could do as and when you leave your home country vis-a-vis what you can deliver. When you land at Heathrow Airport in London, the weight of expectation is different.
Yeah.
And the reality of delivery differs. When you arrive in Poland, the reality of delivery differs.
Yeah.
You've left your mother, you've left your father, who you've made so many promises to, that have sent you to school, that have sent you to work, and the weight of delivery differs. It was easy for you in your home country to go and take medication, take it to your mother, take it to your father, take it to your granny.
Yeah.
The delivery is different. The reality behind what happens in Africa and what happens in the diaspora is two different things.
Yeah.
You are living on a huge credit bill, vis-a-vis also the fact that beyond the huge credit bill, you also have the weight of expectation in terms of what you need to send back home, and it's care. But you need a friend that can deliver the care beyond the care. You are no longer in a position to deliver the medication, to deliver the funeral as and when, how it can happen. I've had so many people that cannot attend funerals even back home.
Yeah.
And also even the fact that you cannot attend to the medical needs. The day that an ambulance takes your mother from Rusape to Harare, you're not there.
Yeah.
You need a friend and a partner to take you into those positions. That's what Care Beyond Care means.
Wow.
And that's our ethos and our brand promise.
Wow.
And our story as Diaspora Meds. To provide the care in your absence and to fulfill the promise that you promised the day that you left the country and the day that your family carried you to the airport and you said, "Ndichakuchengetai."
Yeah.
Tisinovachengeta.
Yeah. Yeah. So this actually proves that kuti uchengete, you don't necessarily have to be background.
100%. So you need a present entity that can be able to provide the care beyond care and care beyond borders. Borders should not be a limitation of providing care.
Okay.
And we are that entity that provides the care beyond. And we've proven this. We've looked after thousands of families across the world.
Okay.
We've repatriated thousands of bodies across the world painfully.
Oh.
And we're not just a friend. We provide care beyond borders and care beyond care.
So for any African who might come across this interview today, what is that one thing that you'd like to encourage them to do before they go to sleep tonight?
What I would like to encourage anyone is, I always say that plan your pleasures because pain will schedule itself.
Can you say that again?
Plan your pleasures because pain will schedule itself. Your pleasure is insurance.
Yeah.
Pain schedules itself and at unscheduled times. The pain of death is not known. The pain of sickness is not known. The pain of life is not known. The only way to plan the pain of those things is through insurance.
Oh.
So any African living across the world, just get in touch with Diaspora Meds because you can't anticipate pain.
Yeah.
And pain can come in a funeral way. Pain can come in a medical way. And what I know is if your loved ones today have a medical condition costing 12,000, you will pay it from your life savings.
Wow. Yeah.
You will pay it from, you sell your car, you sell your house.
Yeah.
In the worst case, you sell your kidney.
That's true.
But with insurance, you don't have to sell those kind of things.
Wow. This has been an interesting interview with you. And before we leave, if you can share with people where they can maybe find more information about Diaspora Meds, where if there's a website maybe where they can contact you or anything?
Okay. I think obviously the best piece of information is our website. It also gives us the opportunity to compare insurance across the world.
Yeah.
And that's www, if I said the w, dot diasporameds.com.
Yeah. I'll also put the link in the description.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also on our social media pages, Diaspora Meds Global on Instagram, and also just Diaspora Meds on Facebook. I think our team is very responsive in respect to your inquiries.
Okay.
So we should be able to respond to those, and we're happy to assist in terms of any information that anyone requires from an insurance point of view, because we're here to create a family, a Diaspora Meds family globally that enables care for anyone beyond care. We don't want anyone suffering from mental health issues because you can't take care of your loved ones back home. Yeah.
Well, this has been interesting. Thank you so much for coming for this interview. So for everyone who's watching, this has been Diaspora Meds. As you have heard, they provide care beyond borders. So wherever you are in the diaspora, if you sign up with Diaspora Meds, they'll give you all the insurance covers that you may need, be it medical insurance, be it repatriation, be it life insurance. All you need to do is to visit www.diasporameds.com and you'll find more information. And I'll also put contact details on the screen so that it will be easier for you to contact them. But until next time, it's goodbye for now.